So welcome self-isolators, and a big congratulations to everybody out there that's taking this self-isolation thing seriously, and you're locked away with your family and friends, however you live in, and you're trying to get through this very bloody bizarre time. So from myself, there's two things with me. Number one, I do this rambling adventure videos, but I'm totally locked down with this. But I'm also a travel nurse, so I've travelled into the community of Powell River. I actually travelled here on New Year's Day when coronavirus was not hitting the news at all. It was probably, I don't know, just starting to rear its head in China. And over the course of my assignment here at the hospital, it's just overtaken absolutely everything. It's bizarre. So I've been extending, and a lot of my colleagues are the same. We keep trying to keep the hospital going, and we're not the only frontline occupation. I've got a great massive amount of respect to my friends and colleagues that's working in the supermarkets on the tills. I'm making sure they've got the food on the supermarket shelves, and everybody that's doing the delivery, the essential work that's keeping the country going. So massive congratulations to everybody that's taking this seriously, and massive congratulations to the general public that's self-isolating and keeping away from the hospital. Hospital's a very odd thing, because we're trying to save lives at the hospital, but equally it's all about, this is one of the viruses where you've got to stay away for as long as you can. If you get the chronic acute kind of breathing difficulties, if you're unlucky enough to contract this virus and you feel that it's going down into your lungs and you're getting pneumonia, that kind of stuff, it's time to come to the hospital. If you just have a sneeze, you're feeling a bit under the weather, that's the time to stay away. So this self-isolating thing is a little bit bizarre because it doesn't come with any instructions. It's just, I don't know, you go back to your house, you shut the door, you limit all your movements, you try and play games and occupy yourselves, but there's no real instructions on how to self-isolate. So I've been doing a lot of thinking over the last few days on a few hints, tips, tricks and things to prepare for. In terms of this virus, is trying to avoid it. I get that, this self-isolating is trying to avoid it, but it's a very contagious virus. So the likelihood of actually contracting the virus is quite high. Now there is a silver lining to the cloud on this, is when you look at the numbers across the world, a lot of people have contracted it, a lot of unfortunate people have died from it, but the death rate is very, very low compared to the recovery rate. So the recovery rate is what you need to be kind of centering on. If you pick up this virus, it's asking the question is, how can I best try and set myself up to recover from this virus? And a lot of people are. So as I say, self-isolating doesn't come with any instructions, so I thought I'd stick a few videos together, a few of my thoughts, and it's all about preparedness. What you can do to prepare, not for the self-isolating bit, that's easy, but preparing for what happens if you actually get the virus. I'm here on my own. As I say, I'm a travel nurse, so I'm very aware and trying to deal with, well, like the daily evolution of this god-awful virus. If you're at home with your family, is how to prepare for if somebody gets sick in your house. It's kind of the elephant in the room. So the first video I want to do today, after my spiel about what coronavirus is and what it isn't, is about cooking. And what I want to do is promote the idea that you need two types of food. And I mean nowhere advocating panic buying. I freaking hate panic buying. One thing this virus has shown is a stupid, selfish nature of certain human beings. The way they're going marauding across the supermarkets and stripping out the shelves. The whole toilet roll issue is absolutely ridiculous. There's going to be books written on the stupidity after this. But what's left is a little bit of thought, a little bit of preparation and a little bit of planning, and I think that goes a long way. So it's not being irresponsible and going down to the supermarket and grabbing all the stuff off, but it's about thinking about food and what you need. And what I want to do today is promote 2 ideas. For a start, the first idea is you need well food. This is the easy stuff. This is the stuff that you need on a daily basis that you eat anyway. But it's food when you're well. And the second idea is to promote the idea of unwell food. And basically where I'm coming from with this, and this is a very poor drawing, excuse my art, but we do know that this illness is a respiratory illness, and by that it's going to affect the back of your throat down towards your voice box, kind of down here, maybe even the roof of your mouth. And a lot of people that have this illness, they liken it to the mother of all sore throats. So swallowing becomes a big part of it, and because you're ill, actually eating food, your body doesn't want it. Your body reduces its appetite because it's trying to fight infection, this kind of stuff. Well, if you've got a sore throat, any symptoms that you have with this illness, it's an indication that your body's immune system is actually fighting the illness. So what you've got to do, responsibility-wise, is give it a helping hand. And a big part of that is what you eat, how you eat, and how you prepare. Because if you get sick, especially if you're on your own, you're not going to want to cook. You're not want to go downstairs, stick stuff on a stove, that kind of stuff. You're going to avoid it. But that's the time when you need to be eating. You need to get the calories into your body, you need the nutrients into your body, and that's going to help your recovery. And it's all about recovery. So, as I said, it is about preparing for well food, what you need on a daily basis to make surviving this thing easy. Your treats, your chips, your this, your that, whatever you want to eat. But equally, while you're well, it's also preparing for the time when you're not well. So what do you need to eat when you are overrun with this virus? And it all goes back to soups, broths, and what I call sloppy foods that's easy to swallow, basically, because your throat is like razor blades. So, sloppy foods. If you're going to go down the processed route, packet soup, tin soup, any kind of creamed soup, and foods that are generally slop out the can. So this is some sort of thick, rich pasta stuff, lasagna meat sauce, that kind of stuff. If you can cook, now's the time to actually start thinking about going back to an age that, I don't know, probably your grandma and grandma would be more, your granddad and grandma would be more used to. And it's using food for its complete nutritional value. We've had years and years and years where you're buying food, you eat half of it and half of it goes in the bin. Those days are coming to an end, especially with this virus. So it's starting to go back to a time where you cook the heck out of food and you use it for all of its worth. And it doesn't matter whether you're vegan, vegetarian, omnivore, carnivore, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's using your food to its full kind of ability. So making homemade stews, making homemade soups, getting it all into tubs, into little plastic tubs, get it into the freezer and make sure you've got stock. So when you get ill, you can just go to the freezer, take this stuff out, stick it in the microwave, ping it, and then you've got the nutrition that your body wants. Now there's a couple of gadgets out there as well that I want to discuss, and a lot of people have these in the back of the cupboards. They got bought for Christmas at some point and you never ever use them, but they're the best gadgets for catching that nutrition that's coming off of your food. For instance, if you boil vegetables, for instance, if you boil some cabbage up or some peas, you'll notice that the water goes green. And again, this is not about, I'm not teaching you how to suck eggs, but there's a lot of nutrition that's coming off of those vegetables that you're just pouring down the sink basically. And this is a stock that you can make other things from. So the first gadget that everybody seems to have, and they're all over the charity shops, so it's a good idea to just go down and see if your charity shop's still open, pop down, see if you can get them. One is an electric steamer, or if you can't find those, steamer baskets. And what steaming does is you put the vegetables in the basket, you pour water in the steamer, the steam comes up, cooks the vegetables, but equally it condenses and all the nutrition comes back out of the vegetables into that water at the bottom. So again, if you're going to do typically green vegetables, cauliflower, that kind of stuff, you're going to get a fantastic stock off the bottom of it. It's really, really good. As I say, these steamers seem to be quite neglected. I don't think nobody really bothers using them for some reason. I don't quite know why. And everybody seems to have them at the back of the cupboard. Now the other one that I've got is this guy here. Just undo it. And it's the Instapot. These things when these things came out, they're incredibly expensive, but now this was the best kind of Christmas deal last year. They're selling for like $54. And they're basically an electric pressure cooker. Again, what happens is you put your meat, vegetables, fish, whatever you're eating into this pot. It steams it, it cooks it, and the water that's left is a fantastic stock. You can use it for absolutely everything. So again, it's getting the most out of your food. And the other thing, I'm just going to show you this. Is the old crock pot. Again, everybody's got them in the back of the cupboards. And in there we've got a nice vegetable stock going. Vegetable soup. Once it's blended down, once it's cooked, we can put it into little tubs, these things, and stick it in the freezer. So if I do get sick, I have the ability to make food very, very quickly. And if the power goes out, I can cook it up on a camping stove. So that's pretty much it with food. So just to recap, it's starting to think about well food. Food you've already got, food that's easy to eat, and food that's nice and it's going to get you through this time. But equally, start thinking about unwell food. So if you do get sick, if you do get this bloody god-awful virus, having a stock of food, and it's all about sloppy, easy to swallow food. Soups, stews, sloppy canned stuff, whatever. But that is separate, and it's separate because it's there for when you're sick. So as I say, I'm not teaching you how to suck eggs on this video. I'm just sharing thoughts. What I'd like for you to do is, yeah, subscribe to the channel, but also put your comments and your thoughts down in the comment box below on a few tips and tricks that you've got up your sleeve for helping you and your family through this bloody awful time. So I hope you enjoyed this video and carry on isolated. See you next time.